Hello, and welcome to this lesson on component styling in Svelte. In this video, we'll learn about local and global component styling, as well as standalone style sheets. By default, when we define CSS in a component style section, it's locally scoped. That's to say, the styles in a component can only affect that particular component even when it has children. If we want the styling to affect other components, we have to change its scope to global explicitly. Or we have to use a standalone style sheet. For our examples, we'll use the root app component as the parent and create a component called styling as the child. So, in the source directory, new folder, components, then new file, styling.svelte. We'll add a heading in the markup and say, child component. Below that, we'll add the style section, target the heading, and make its color red. In the root app component, we'll import styling from components styling.svelte. And in the markup, we'll instantiate it with a self-closing tag. We want to show the difference between the component styles, so let's add an h2 above the instance and say parent component. Then, we'll add a style section at the bottom, target the h2, and set its color to blue. If we save and go to the browser, we'll see the parent component heading is blue, and the styling component heading is red. So, each component uses its own style block. If we want to define a style globally, we need to use the global modifier in the style block and target the selector in its parameter list. To demonstrate, let's remove the h2 style in our root app component style section. Then, we add the global modifier. So, global, target the h2, and set the color to lime green. But if we go to the browser, only the parent heading is green. That's because the local style in the child component will always take precedence over any global style. If we want the global style to work on both components, we need to remove the local style from the styling component. If we save and head over to the browser, both headings will be green. If we have a standalone style sheet that globally affects all the components, we can easily add it to the application. All we need to do is import the CSS file into the main.js file. As an example, let's create a folder in the source directory called CSS. Inside it, we'll create a style sheet called main.css. To keep the example simple, we'll just target the body element and set its background to black. Then we'll open up the main.js file and import css main.css. If we save the file and take a look in the browser, the entire page background will be black. So the style sheet was applied, and we didn't have to add it manually to the index.html file. Alright, that concludes this lesson on component styling in Svelte. In the next video, we'll learn how to hook into various parts of Svelte's lifecycle with special functions. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.